Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I'm preparing this video the day after Hillary Clinton claims the representative for the Democratic Party for the presidency of the United States. And I want to welcome all of you who will just stay with this video for a couple of minutes. What I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, is this, that I'm inviting people who I'm trying to connect with and see if some major things can happen in this country to this page. So the things that I say here, I must be genuine in what I say. I have a video that I produced. I called it The Churches Gets a Good Cussing Out. Yes, in the spirit of love. I call the church to a good cussing out for the failure, for the dereliction of duty that they've done in their period of existence here in this country, and I would gather around the world. And I use cussing out because they deserve the cussing out. You know, somebody say, well, you should have this kind of language. And I wonder who is it that should say or determine what kind of language everybody else should use. I say the language that communicates what you're trying to say is the language that you should use. And I know that people, for one reason or another, understand a good cussing out. And I gave it to the church. But I'm not just going to leave that with the church. Today, in the spirit of love, I want to give America a good cussing out. Ladies and gentlemen of America, I love you, but I'm not standing here before you because I love you. I'm standing here before you because I was selected. You know, just like presidents are selected. I was selected by the spiritual God to stand up in the middle of all this darkness, in the middle of all this wickedness, and tell you some truth to help you. Not Eddie Marcus to help you, but God using me to tell you God wants to help you by bringing some things to your attention. The presidential representatives now, Republican and Democrat, Trump and Clinton, they have been championed before you as nothing, as liars and thieves and selfish son of a bitches. That's what they have been championed before you as. Now you and I both know that these people were not exactly put before you by your choice. They were selected and put before you. And so you ended up with what you have determined in your own edification as two demons or representatives of demons. Each of you who are drawn to a particular side say that that's your lesser demon. You're not saying they're not demons, but you're saying that they're the lesser of the two demons. Now all of you in America are sitting there looking at two demons that have been put before you, who are lying to you about what they're going to do for you. Whatever they do won't be for you. It'll be for the ones who put them in that position. You didn't put them in that position. You just think you did. You had a chance to stop them. The closest thing that you came to that you would have been able to acknowledge or know was Sanders. Now, Sanders is by far a long way from being what God presents to you, but he was a hell of a lot better than these two. The powers that be knows that. They put him before you, but they put him before you as a socialist, knowing that you had been conditioned and trained to reject socialists. Socialism is not the way. That's what Americans have been taught. So he was out of it before he begun. Yes, a lot of people recognize what he said, how he spoke for them, but not enough of them, because there were other people who voted against him who recognized what he spoke for represented them as well. But he's a socialist. And so they ended up choosing their demon. Their demon. American people, America, the God of all gods, the great God, the Christian God, represented here on both sides of the tent. When they announced they had gotten the authority to go forward, you should hear the people cheering cheering for their little devil. And in a sense, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that since the beginning of time, there was one. And the devil tricked that one to stray away from the path of life and try to see if you could beat it. And there's been trouble all the way because you've been confused. Because the devil has not turned anyone loose. And now we have accepted that one being abused. And to the extent now that it seems as if it's covering all of us. That's why when it is said that if one human being is persecuted, then that's as saying that the whole of human race is persecuted. Because if what is required to stop it is not stopped at that one, it, like any cancer, will overwhelm the whole body. And I know you think because it'll stop before it gets to you. I promise you, it won't. The medicine that is required is you. And if you keep waiting, it will overcome you. But what I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that this is what you have done. This is what you have done. You got over 100 days now to listen how each of them are going to present the other devil to you. And you're going to see exactly what you've been off to. And there are powers that be that knew exactly what was going to happen or what the choices were. And they're basically prepared for anything except for the truth. Now I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this, and this is why I cussed your ignorant ass out. Hoping that you get up off your lazy ass and lazy mind. And who am I talking to? I'm talking to all Americans. Every last one of you. The church, all of you super professionals, all of you educated ones, and all you uneducated ones, and all of you straight up dumb ones and ignorant ones. Who is that? That represents everybody. And I'm speaking to you. God made this world. No human being made it. You didn't. Nobody we can look at, touch, made this. And the abilities that all this earth can do and has done, that is evidence before us, was part of the plan. Our being here is part of the plan. But the plan made it possible for us to create heaven, which means we have to treat each other like we want to be treated, or we create hell, which means trying to take advantage of others so that you can go right on. And the choice is yours. We can't blame the devil or God. It's in your hands. Right now, God wants to speak, because and before you, all you see is the benefits of the devil. See what's running for the President of the United States? That has nothing to do with God. But you are going to be suffering by their conduct. But God has sent someone right here before you to tell you that's what that is. But if you want anything different, you got to be willing to stand up for every American. That the benefits of one is the same benefits for every last one of them. That's how God speaks. God doesn't come here saying the black folks can make it now. God doesn't come here saying now because you're a lady, you can make it now. God don't care about that. God says every American. Every American. And if you can't say every American, then you take your damn ignorant ass over to the damn polls and vote for a Republican and vote for a Democrat and sit your ass down and wait till all this shit that's going to happen to you. God damn it, because you can't blame nobody but your ignorant ass self. Now, I'm telling you this out of love. I made a hell of a lot of you mad, especially those who talk about you love Jesus. Ooh, how can he say those things? How should I need to say something like this? You should have seen this. If you were serious about anything about God, you should have seen this. But you didn't see it. So I'm telling you, get your spiritual ass up out of that goddamn grave and stand up. And let the spirit of love enter into your being. And do unto others as you would have others to do unto you. Or sit your ass down. You got it? When you go to the polls, let me give you an out. When you go to the polls and vote, who you don't want? Neither of those. Write in G-O-D. And this is a statement to all of us who say we are ready for God's way to come together and make that statement. And whoever gets in that office will understand that unless they are doing what God wants done, they ain't going nowhere. No, we're going to love them right out of office right quick and replace them with somebody. You're talking about putting somebody in office? Yes. We're going to put somebody in office who represents everybody in this nation. And if you don't represent everybody in this nation, you have no darn business in here. Get over there with the people who are selfish and want to rip people off so they can look good. And we'll defeat you with them. Bye-bye.